Hello friends, and happy Friday, or happy whichever day you're watching. It's the Friday before Labor Day, so I thought I would take you along with me for a couple days in my life as I celebrate the last days of summer and start to prepare for a fall a little bit and start to get ready for my trip to Scotland in October. Although I'm starting to see a lot of content about fall, I don't want to rush into things too much. But I have to admit, I'm a big fan of that time of year, and even though weather-wise not much changes in LA, it's more of a feeling of coziness than anything else. It's also back to school time, and even though I'm well beyond that age anymore, back to school almost feels like another version of New Year's. It's a great time to reset and create some plans of what you want the last quarter of the year to look like. We're also going to be making 2 of my favorite homemade treats in this video to give to some friends: healthy granola bars and healthy-ish Twix bars. I'm starting by doing a deep clean of my apartment, followed by a trip to the grocery store to pick up some groceries and the items I need for baking. Saturday morning, I did a strength training workout in my home garage gym, and then I started making the Twix bars. So here is everything we need for the healthy Twix bars. We have dark chocolate chips, vanilla extract, maple syrup, salt, almond flour, coconut oil, peanut butter, and sea salt. I discovered this recipe from watching Renee Amberg's channel where she made them, and these desserts are a huge hit and so delicious. And they are gluten-free and can be vegan as well. It should be noted that I recognize I have a lot to learn about filming cooking in my small kitchen, as it's tougher than it looks, and that I'm also a very messy baker. Let's move on to the granola bars. So you will need quick oats, some salt, some coconut oil, honey, chocolate chips or raisins. I use chocolate chips, cinnamon, vanilla extract, and some kind of nuts. You can use almonds or walnuts, and peanut butter. While the treats are cooling in my fridge, I wanted to tackle organizing my bedroom closet. It wasn't too messy, it just needed some tidying up and grouping clothing items like summer tops, dresses, and sweaters all together. Finally, it was time to take the treats out of the fridge and cut them into portions to deliver to my friends. Of course, I saved one for myself. That night, I went with my friend Dave to the El Segundo Art Walk. It was such a nice night, and El Segundo is such a cute town near LAX, and I highly recommend stopping by if you're ever in LA. Sunday morning, I started by doing some organizing for my trip to Scotland. Since I'm only packing a small carry-on, I have to be diligent about deciding what I want to bring with me. So in preparing for my trip to Scotland, I finally got a Kindle because this is nice and compact and can hold obviously a lot of books, and it sort of takes away the problem of having very big bulky books to carry along with me. And right now I'm in sort of my romantasy era. This book I just read, everyone loved this book, I think, but I wasn't as big of a fan of it as I was this series. So this is the first book, The Serpent of the Wings of the Night, in this series, and this is actually the second book of this series. The first book is called Fourth Wing, which I absolutely loved. I started trying to read this. I borrowed this book from a friend and not quite into it yet. It's a very big book, and I don't know if it's the summer and every time I start reading I get really sleepy because it's hot in my apartment. So I think for now I'm going to keep pushing through with this one to see if I can start getting into that, because I don't want to bring this with me to Scotland. And then I have the sequel to this book on my Kindle, so I can read that when I'm there, or if I don't like that, then I'll have other options that I can read. And I don't think I'm going to continue with this series. But I also got the converter I'll need for Scotland, so I got 2 of those, or they came in a pack on Amazon. And so I'm starting to gather and write down all of the things that I'm going to need to bring with me, and I'll show you what I'm doing with my itinerary next. So I created this list in Notion of some ideas people gave me of things to do in Scotland. I'm going to be flying into Edinburgh and then spending several days there, and then I'm doing a 5-day trip to the Highlands and then coming back to Edinburgh, and then I have a couple days to figure out what to do from there. I don't want to overschedule myself, but I'm going to start to create like a general itinerary of what I want to kind of do on each day, and just as a sort of idea of things I want to do. And I'm also going to start plugging in hotel information and check-in process and that sort of thing, so I have it all digitally and kind of ready to go when I'm there.
Next, I decided to make butternut squash soup, which is always delightful to have in the fall and winter, so I like to make a big batch and freeze it and have it on hand with a salad and a slice of my homemade bread. Right now it's still too hot for soup, but I must admit deciding to use my oven so much right now really heat up my apartment, and with no AC, it made it really challenging. Ah, the things we do for cozy content. Next, I wanted to tackle organizing my hall closet where I keep beauty products, hair care, extra sheets and towels, and my video production equipment. As you can see, I did a fall candle haul at Bath & Body Works because I'm slightly obsessed and I love the scent called Leaves. Luckily, everything was on sale. I'd say I'm pretty stocked up for fall. I should note that this is about the only fall decor I actually buy, and try not to go overboard with other decorations. Finally, I settled in to watch a couple episodes of the latest series I'm watching, A Discovery of Witches, on Netflix, because I could listen to Matthew Good read the phone book and I'd still watch. It's a fantasy show about witches and vampires and feels like a good show to watch this time of year. I hope you enjoyed spending these last few days of August with me, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. And I will see you next time.